mean, there was some positive stuff on Saturday, like Michael King. I mean, 9
Oh my
strikeouts in
gosh.
5 innings. Oh, no, what?
Stacey, we
What?
just got the news.
Oh, God. What?
Jasson Dominguez has a torn UCL.
I'm going to throw up.
You are Locked On Yankees, your daily New York Yankees podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome to Locked On Yankees, which is part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Thank you for making us your first listen every day. I'm Stacey Gotsulias. The show is sponsored by Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. Last minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. With me, as always, is my producer, Steve Granado. Usually I ask you what's going on, but...
There's a lot going on, Stacey. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on. Thanks so much for clicking on the show here today, guys. We have a lot to talk about. We have a preview for this week series, this 4-game set with the Red Sox. That's coming up later. It's Minors Monday, so we need to talk about one guy in particular, Estevan Florial. Yes, he's back in the news again, perhaps maybe for the last time. We'll explain a little bit later. Stacey, Jasson Dominguez is out for the season and, of course, sometime next year as well. It was revealed post-game on Sunday that Jasson Dominguez will need Tommy John surgery after tearing his UCL, his right UCL. It was also revealed that he first felt this pain on Sunday in Houston, played through it on Sunday. Of course, felt that with the off day on Monday, we'll just get through it. Came to the ballpark on Tuesday, still feeling a little bit. Then when he woke up on Wednesday, still feeling it, he realized, okay, this is something. That's when he told the trainers. Played through it the weekend, scratched on Sunday. And so it took about a week here for this whole saga to play out, half of it behind closed doors. And here we are. Here we are now. Dominguez obviously upset. Everyone obviously upset. Stacey, your reaction to this very terrible news?
It is just, it's the Sunday, the cherry on top of the S Sunday, because I can't say the word, of this season. Like, seriously, it's just, every time we think there's a new low, it gets worse. This feels like one of the worst things that it's one of the worst things that happened this season, in a season full of worst things, because this was the promise of the future. He comes up, he hits 4 home runs in his first however many games. You know, he's the first person to do this and that. And then you get this deflating news. It's just absolutely awful. And I can't even express how I'm feeling right now. It's just a big, giant bummer.
Yeah, it's obviously huge. This was, like you said, one of the only bright spots here in the season, especially at the tail end of it. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, because we're going to talk about it more in depth of what the fallout of all of this is on tomorrow's show during the second segment. So make sure to stick around for that. We'll kind of detail out what the plans are, or what the plans could be moving forward. Of course, obviously, Jasson Dominguez will not be ready for opening day next season unless he has this insane comeback. They're anticipating 9 to 10 months or so for recovery time. Some guys come back quicker, but you know how all this stuff is. It's all a coin toss when it comes to Tommy John. Obviously, it's a lot easier when he is not a pitcher. That always makes things easier. Bryce Harper had it in October and then came back around midway point-ish of this season. So it gets done. But, you know, he'll likely play next season. Just based on track record overall when it comes to position players and Tommy John surgery. But this is obviously a massive blow, and you know, the rotten cherry on top. And Stacey, we were actually recording this show after we were talking about the win on Sunday, Gerrit Cole, Corbin Burns, which we're still going to do here. But we're talking about that when this news broke. And this was such a bizarre moment for us personally on the show that we felt like we had to show you what happened. So take a listen, take a look at what happened while we were anticipating recording the real show and what ended up now being a lost episode of Locked On Yankees. This is what happened when the news dropped.
I mean, there was some positive stuff on Saturday, like Michael King. I mean, 9 strikeouts in 5 innings. Oh, no, what?
Stacey, we just got the news.
Oh, God. What?
Jasson Dominguez has a torn UCL.
I'm going to throw up. I'm I'm literally going to throw up.
My God. He needs Tommy John.
Can we just end the season? Can they just like not play for the rest of the year?
Are you kidding me?
No, this is just no.
That just happened on the show as we were recording it.
Mm-mm.
I don't even know what to say to that.
I don't either.
Thank God I looked at my phone as we're recording.
I'm going to throw up.
Oh my gosh. As if this weekend couldn't get any. I mean, I guess weird doesn't feel like the right word anymore now. How does that happen? So we were talking about the whole crux of the old show was, wow, what a weird weekend. The way some stuff came out about and during Old Timers Day and Sevy, who we're going to talk about here in just a second, the Sunday game, and then the flooding.
The flooding. Let's not forget the flooding.
So much happened over the weekend. Yeah, that was something. Stacey, I just said it there. Not the only injury news over the weekend. Luis Severino's Yankees career is in essence over. It's done. Oblique strain after Friday's game when she was pitching fairly well against the Brewers. He is out for the year. That means he's done because he is a free agent at the end of the season. Stace will go in depth during the offseason more, probably have an entire episode dedicated to Luis Severino's Yankees career. But just your overall impressions of 2023 and how this all ended for Severino. I know I'm asking a lot of you today.
It's just everything is a disaster. It's a disaster. His 2023 was an absolute disaster. This is the worst kind of year you could possibly want before free agency. To end it on an injury is just the way things go for Luis Severino. His career has been marred by injuries, and it just stinks that he's a good pitcher. When he's pitching really well, he's one of the best pitchers in baseball, but there hasn't been enough of that because he's injured all the time. And it's always another injury that happens that's different than the injury he's recovering from. I mean, this has been his career. And I felt terrible for him on Friday night because he was crying in his postgame interview. You know, Meredith asked him a question and he couldn't even speak for a good 30 seconds because he was trying to stop himself from crying. And he knows it's not, these guys aren't trying to get hurt. They aren't trying to have careers like this. It's just the way it is for some people. And for Luis Severino, he did have some flashes of really good moments and we were able to witness it, but this is just a really bad way to go out.
Yeah, it's awful. And for all the promise that was there, you were thinking Luis Severino was the ace of the staff for years and years, a decade of Yankees baseball, and it just didn't work out that way. And that's such a bummer. Mm-hmm. Just how it goes, man. Baseball's brutal. Speaking of brutal, Sunday was brutal for 10 1/3. The Yankees are being no-hit by the Brewers. Corbin Burns was pitching out of his mind. His cutter was on fire on Sunday. Then you give the ball to Devin Williams in the 9th. He was on fire, made quick work. And there was Abner Uribe, ended up giving up the RBI double to Oswaldo Cabrera in the 11th. But of course, Stacey, Gerrit Cole, once again proving that he is the undisputed front runner. And say it again on the show, will win the AL Cy Young, and if he doesn't, I riot.
Yeah. The one bright spot for the Yankees in 2023 in a lost season for the Yankees. He's just amazing. He really is. And every time you think that maybe he's going to run into trouble, he gets out of it. And it's just a joy to watch him pitch every time he's out. He's great.
Yeah. Fastball was on absolute fire. 7 innings of work, 3 hits, 9 strikeouts. And in a point in the season, too, for the Brewers, we're like, that can't happen for Milwaukee. Like we talk a lot about, the Yankees couldn't score for Gerrit Cole. Well, for the Brewers, they're like, man, the Brewers can't score for Corbin Burns. Burns is tossing an absolute gem on the other side, and they need every win they can get right now while they're pushing the NL Central. The Yankees are in a lost year, like you said. Sal Frelick, my goodness, what a catch in the 11th to rob Volpe of what would have been a game-winning at least double. Probably would have hit off the wall. Giancarlo Stanton, that massive blast in the 12th off Andrew Chafin. And then Higgy walks it off. His first career walk-off in pinstripes, snapping an 7-game losing streak in extra innings for the Yanks. I mean, I felt decent until we started recording the lost episode.
It was not a great weekend overall. And that game was just so long. And the way they won, it was like, oh my God, okay, cool. So at least there was one bright spot in the weekend. And then it just took a nosedive.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like we said, the flooding on Saturday, I'm just going to say 2 words and you'll know what I'm talking about probably. David Wells. Just so much, man. Just what a weird, all of it is strange. Obviously heartbreaking for Dominguez. You got to feel for the poor kid, man. Gosh, that's got to be such a massive gut punch.
And it's a gut punch for the Yankees because they were so excited about these kids coming up. They were showing some life, and, they haven't had the greatest few games. They lost the last one against Detroit. They lost the first 2 against Milwaukee. They're being no hit through 10 innings. And it's like, oh my God. And then they win this game the way they do. And then they find out after the game, because I'm assuming that's when they all found out, that Dominguez tore his UCL. I can't even imagine what kind of a gut punch that was for these guys.
Screw a gut punch. It's a baseball bat to the stomach.
Yeah.
That's where you're at. Let us know how you're feeling. I know you guys have a lot of feelings. Tell us in the comment section here on the YouTube side. You can leave your questions for Fan Mail Friday as well. While you're down there, respond to that pinned comment down below. And that's how we check out for Fan Mail Friday, every Friday. If you want to skip that line, join Subtext. Of course, we were texting with our subtexters as well about the Dominguez news. And we're like, whoa, we were recording. What happened? Oh my gosh. And yeah, it's... Join Subtext so you can be part of our community. You can have one-on-one text conversations with Stacey and myself and be a part of the never-ending drog that is the Yankees this season. That's a good pitch for it, right? We're going to step aside. We have to talk about Estevan Florial. We're also going to put it a little bit into terms of what happens next with Jasson Dominguez. That'll be a little bit more on tomorrow's show, but stick around for that conversation next.
Here at Locked On Yankees, we think buying baseball tickets shouldn't be stressful. Game Time is the fastest and easiest way to buy tickets for all the sports, music, comedy, and theater shows near you. You're running out of time during this baseball season, so why not snag some quick tickets to a Yankee game while you still can? They take all the work out of buying tickets, so all you do is tap a few times and you're in. Forget planning months in advance. Game Time has deals on tickets right up to the moments before first pitch. Get exclusive flash deals on tickets for other events too, like football, basketball, concerts, comedy, theater, and more. With their lowest price guarantee and even event cancellation protection, Game Time is the best place to buy tickets in just a matter of seconds. Snag the tickets without the stress with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, that's code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed.
Back here on Locked On Yankees. Don't forget, SiriusXM is the place to listen to every Yankees game this season. Hang out with John and Susan for a few hours starting tonight against the Red Sox. You can do that. Again, download the SiriusXM app today in whatever app stores of your choosing. It's there. You'll find it. And for everydayers out there coming up on tomorrow's show, of course, we did talk about Jasson Dominguez already, but we are going to talk about the fallout now. What do the Yankees do in center field? We have to talk about that. I didn't even think about that until this very moment. What are the Yankees going to do in center field for 2024? That makes this offseason way more interesting, doesn't it? Cody Bellinger? Cody Bellinger? He's a Cub. Okay, Stace, Estevan Florial. Man, we have talked about this guy so much. And I feel like we had to talk about him potentially one more time to give him maybe a proper send-off. What does that mean? So Sunday, what spurred this whole idea, Stace, Sunday he went off in a massive victory for the Rail Riders, scored 13 runs. Florial homered twice. He drove in 6 and became the leader in home runs this season in the Yankee system. He has 28 bombs this year. And it kind of just struck me in that moment when I saw that. And having known Estevan Florial, weirdly enough, following his career for a very long time, I first covered him during the 2017 season when he was with the Charleston River Dogs. Called a couple, we played the River Dogs. I was with the West Virginia Power. They were the Pirates system at the time. Now no longer affiliated, but Florial was on the other side. And obviously he was a highly rated prospect at the time. And so seeing him, I was like, okay, this is a guy I need to watch out for. Now here I am 6 years later. And his Yankees career is 3 weeks from being over, 2 weeks from being over. because he will be a free agent at the end of the season. Stacey, when you think about Estevan Florial and the world of what could have been, what comes to mind? What do you think when we're a couple years down the road, in 5 years' time, 10 years' time? Florial's without a doubt retired. He's done. Career's over. Maybe 15 years, let's say. What do you think you're going to think of when you think of the name Estevan Florial?
That he wasn't given a good enough chance by the Yankees. He's one of those. I feel like prospects are really risky and you never know what you're going to get from them. But I feel like the Yankees have had some interesting bad luck when it comes to guessing which prospects to be really gung-ho about and the ones that they kind of discard and let this happen to, I know people always talk about the strikeouts, and yes, the rate is high, but that's basically how baseball is now. Like, you see these guys with numbers where their averages are low, they're hitting for a ton of home runs, and their strikeouts are insane because, the pitching's getting better. And it's not like he's not a bad player. He just strikes out a lot, but he still hits a lot of home runs. I think, what is he, 4 away from the record for Scranton for a season? He still could do it in the next couple of weeks. I just feel like he wasn't given enough of a chance. And people will say, oh, well, the Yankees called him up and he played and he didn't do well enough. Yeah, he was called up, but they would play him for a game, sit him for 3 games, bring him in as a pinch hitter, or bring him in for defense. You're not going to develop a kid in the majors if you're playing him sporadically. We talk about that all the time with other players, and he wasn't given enough of a chance by the Yankees, and I feel bad for him because of that.
Yeah, a lot of things come to mind here for me as you're talking. I'm kind of running through things in my mind too about Florial. Again, I got to know him really well last season. He was with the Rail Riders almost all season last year while I was there working in the media department. And, talked to him on multiple occasions. He's always out there working hard and, always practicing and always working on his swing and talking with coaches. Like, I rarely saw him take time off, ever. It was always, before the game. It's like, all right, now I got to get out of center field and lead off. Like that was Flo. And he was one of the most professional guys I've ever come across in my career. And to think what log jammed him, essentially, last year was the chance. 2022 was the chance. It should have been. Mm-hmm. I mean, to be frank, it should have been this year too. But 2022, True. You started to see the writing on the wall here of what the Yankees thought of him. And to think that Aaron Hicks essentially is the reason why Estevan Florial never really got a shot with the Yankees is insane to think about that side of it. You knew how they felt about it when they traded for Bader. You knew how they felt about it when they signed Matt Carpenter. All these little, again, telltale signs. And now here we are going, it's a couple weeks from being done. He'll be a minor league free agent. He will undoubtedly get a minor league free agent deal. And just for good purpose, you talked about the strikeouts. And we've known the strikeouts. The Yankees have wanted his strikeouts to go down. And that's essentially like the only bad thing about him is the strikeouts. He hits for average. He hits for power. He plays good center field. He's got a good arm. He gets good reads off the bat. And he's very fast. So why were they so hell-bent on strikeouts? Yes, it was high. It was 30%. 30% basically on average, teetered 29 to 32, somewhere around there, depending on what time of year it was. That's where he's at for his career. And it never fluctuated. It was always that. Yeah. So you knew what you were going to get out of him, at least at that level. So it stands to reason that the Yankees were a little worried about it going up when you go up a level, right? Okay, I get that. But here's this, Stacey. The Yankees traded for Joey Gallo in 2021. His strikeout rate in that season ended up being 34.6%. At the time of the trade was 32.2%. And look, I get it. Gallo was more proven power-wise in the majors. That makes sense. I understand that. But how do you even know with Florial? You don't. You just don't. And to him, like you said, not getting an opportunity and really not getting any opportunity this year. Mm-hmm. I don't care about he go to free agency. Well, you're not going to play him anyway. Then what is he good for in the organization? Let him go to free agency. Yeah. You already dropped them off the 40. You already blew it there. So it stinks. It just flat out stinks when you think about what the Yankees did. And, I think, yes, obviously you have to put on the strikeouts on Flo. He never corrected it. He didn't. But, the Yankees kind of failed him there too.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a bummer, dude. And I hate that this is how it all goes. Flo is having the best season of his minor league career this season. And it just goes to show you. And he's, again, been such a professional the whole time. I asked him last year about this stuff. I did. And I flat out, I'm like, dude, like, come tell me. Like, let me know. Like, this sucks. He's like, yeah, well, it's the way it is. They'll call me up. My time is coming. And you're just you're kind of probing him. Like, come on, man. Like, let the veil slip. And he never let it slip. And that happened again this year. Multiple times asked. Nope. My time will come. I'll keep working. I can't control that, man. It'll come. And I hope and pray it does with somebody else. He deserves it. He absolutely deserves it. It reminds me a lot of Joey Meneses. And he deserves
it. And it will. It'll happen because he's having such a great year. Someone will give him a chance. Scoop him up and give him a chance. And
and hopefully it works out for him. The strikeouts are going to be there, man. But the power is too. Yin and yang. Let us know how you're feeling about Flo in the comments section. It feels weird that this is probably going to be the last time we talk about him. He's weirdly enough become a kind of big part of my baseball career on that side of it. It's really weird. I wish absolutely nothing but the best for Estevan Florial. We'll see maybe if he gets called up here with the Dominguez news, but it's probably going to be either Cordero, who is healthy, or McKinney if he's feeling healthy. He's been dealing with back spasms. So that would also, I mean, there's a 40-man move. Dominguez gets put on the 60, but we'll see. We'll see. Let us know how you're feeling. All right, we'll step aside one more time. We come back. Preview of the Red Sox series and our bold predictions.
The MLB playoffs are around the corner, which means the clock is ticking on your chance to get 100 times your cash on daily fantasy baseball. Baseball has never been more exciting than it is now with studs like Acuna, Freeman, and Bellinger. Pick more or less on stats for these stars like home runs, hits, strikeouts, and more, up to a 100 times payout on Sleeper. Get your picks right and you could win big. I'm StaceFace826, so connect with me over there. Just because your personal fantasy team isn't going anywhere doesn't mean you have to miss out on winning this season. So use promo code LOCKEDON and you'll get up to a $100 match on your first deposit. Terms and conditions apply, and see Sleeper's terms of use for details.
Back now on Locked On Yankees. Don't forget Yankees and Red Sox tonight starting 7:10 first pitch. You can listen to that on SiriusXM. Download the SiriusXM app today. It's the place to listen to all Yankees game every season. Stays 4-gamer with the Sox at Fenway. Of course, this weird series that just was leading into this series. The Yankees still have an opportunity to be super spoiler. I feel like the Yankees could put essentially a nail in the coffin of the Red Sox season here at this week. So it could be important here. They're 2 games over heading into the week. They have a little outside chance here, but I feel like the Yankees can really squabble it here.
They could. They won't, but they could,
And that's that glass half full attitude we love to hear.
I mean, they haven't done anything against the Red Sox this year. I mean, they just cannot. It's awful. Awful. And the Red Sox aren't even that good. It's just one of these weird years where the Yankees can't do anything right. And, God, I forgot it was a 4-gamer.
Yeah, we're going to be there for a while.
In Fenway, and it would have been. I just really this Dominguez thing is such a bummer because I would have loved to have seen him hit something over the monster, maybe around the pesky pole, maybe even into the bullpens. I mean, it could have been such a fun 4-game series, even if the Yankees lost, but Dominguez just went off a little bit, and that's not going to happen. So I can't even look forward to anything. I'm sorry, guys. I don't mean to be pessimistic here, but this news has just thrown me for a loop, and it's hard to be positive.
No, I mean, it's completely understandable. I mean, it's the worst news. Oh gosh, man. I mean, in a sea of bad news this year, from Herman to Sevy to Rizzo to this, man, it's a pick your poison, really.
Yeah.
Here are the pitching matchups for Monday.
Let's get excited.
Clark Schmidt takes the ball against Cutter Crawford. Carlos Rodon will face Nick Pivetta. On Tuesday. On Wednesday, they haven't named one because that's Sevy's spot. Probably going to be Brito, if I had to take a guess. Or guess Tanner Houck. And then the Red Sox haven't named a starter for Thursday. The Yankees will go with Michael King. Michael King is a starter. It's done. Put it in pen. Stace, watch out for Tristan Casas this week. I have been a Casas doubter. Watched him a lot last season, and I get it. Frame-wise, big kid, big first baseman, power potential, just a massive dude. And I never really saw it come to fruition in the 14 games or whatever. He also got hurt last season, so that put a wrinkle into the system while he was with Worcester. So, as far as he's concerned, I've totally doubted him, 100% have doubted him. I saw him in the fall league as well for a little bit. But he's hitting now. He's hitting now, so I feel like he has a chance to kind of do some damage here against the Yankees, especially, a little bit shy on pitching right now. With Marinaccio and Weiser going back down, and calling up the other guys. So I don't know. Is it possible they win this series, Stace?
No.
No, you think you're flat no? They win one here this week?
Maybe. I think they win. Okay. They might have a chance in 2 games, the Schmidt game and the King game.
That's fair. Yeah. Michael King pitched great this past week in 5 innings.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's fair. I think you're on the nail on the head there. Do you want to give me your bold prediction? However, a reminder, you are way in front, so you can't lose. I can't wager anything because I'm pointless now. I'm completely empty in the bank. But do you have a bold prediction?
Carlos Rodon gets knocked out in the 2nd inning.
No, that was mine.
No, it was not.
Yes, it was going to be the 3rd. I was going to say Carlos Rodon can't get out of the 3rd inning.
We're so positive on this show. All right, I'll change mine.
We usually are. No. Stace, it's yours. It's yours. You got it. You got it in first.
I'm sorry.
Oh, man. Well, you're saying 2nd. That's even bolder. I was going to say he was going to get knocked out in the 3rd.
Yeah, I'm feeling 2nd. I'm feeling like it's going to be like
just a train wreck.
A train wreck.
Train wreck. He's after you said that, now he's getting knocked out in the 3rd and I lose a point. Okay, so now I got a spitball here. All right, let me go to the 4th game on Thursday. I'm going to stick on the pitching front. Michael King goes 5 innings again, doesn't give up a run, 3 or less hits allowed.
Ooh.
I think he spins a gem. I'm feeling Michael King right now. I like it. I like what I'm seeing.
That'd be good.
That'd be great. Drop your questions. Drop your bold predictions down below here on the YouTube side. It's been a long day. This is the 2nd episode we recorded today. Drop your questions as well. Respond to that pinned comment here on YouTube. Of course, you can join Subtext as well. On Tuesday, we will recap Game 1. We'll also talk more about the Jasson Dominguez fallout, what the timeline is moving forward. They don't, by the way, haven't scheduled Tommy John just yet. They're still figuring. I mean, this is brand new news. This just happened as far as the show is concerned. So we'll talk about that more once we have a little bit more information, and as well trying to look at where the Yankees are at prospect-wise, see how this changes their offseason strategy, things like that. That's on tomorrow's show. Make sure to subscribe. That's going to do it for a chock-full episode of Locked On Yankees. I'm Steve Granado.
And I'm Stacey Gotsulias. We'll see you tomorrow.